Hey gang, Dave and Greg here to talk to you about something really great, Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday, yeah. You know that part in the Bible where Saul is talking to that palm reader and oh wow.
No,
Dave, that is a really interesting lifeline you have. I think maybe, no?
Palm Sunday commemorates Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. Now, picture this. Jesus riding into the city on a donkey. As the crowds come before him, laying their cloaks and palm branches and shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David."
That's what I said. That's what I meant to say.
Okay, picture this. Jesus' popularity had just gone viral. Just a few days earlier in that same community, Jesus had raised Lazarus from the dead.
Wait, like the post-dead Lazarus was probably at the first Palm Sunday.
Probably.
Get out. It'd be like this.
You're just a thriller, Jesus. You raised me from the dead, and you said, get up, get up, get up. Ow!
Now, to complete all of this, Jesus needed a donkey. You might think a king or a prince would want a horse to ride in the town, but not Jesus. He had other ideas. The donkey was a sign of peace, and by riding a donkey into Jerusalem, Jesus was showing peaceful intentions.
Yeah, it says right here, Matthew 21, that Jesus asked two of his disciples to get him a donkey. I wonder which two disciples he asked.
Who knows, maybe Thomas.
I doubt it. Maybe Andrew or Tony. Tony would totally do that.
Well, there was no disciple named Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry, Antonius.
Still no disciple named Tony.
What Bible translation do you read?
So Jesus needs a donkey, and so he sends these two disciples to find one. And he says, "You'll find one next to a colt tied up."
Yeah. He says, untie them, bring them to me. If someone asks you what you're doing, say the Lord has need of it. He sends them and sends them right away. Wow.
What?
Jesus told the disciples to steal a donkey for him?
That's not what it says. What Bible do you read?
Man, I can't figure this out. You got, okay, Jesus, change the water into wine. Check. Feed the 6,000.
5,000.
5,000. Whatever. Done it. Heal the leper. Raise Lazarus from the grave. Boom. Shakalaka. Done. Go steal me a donkey. Not very WWJD.
So the significance of Jesus riding in on a donkey, which he didn't steal, was to fulfill the prophecy of Zechariah 9:9. The king coming into town on a donkey with a path paved before him with palm branches. These palm branches signified triumph and victory. The what? The palm branches. Palm branches. Palm branches.
Palm Sunday. Wait, I thought, oh man. This is so confusing. Why don't they call it Palm Branch Sunday? Oh man, I'm sorry, Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday is a time for us to prepare our hearts for the agony of Jesus' crucifixion and the joy of his resurrection. So on the road to the cross, let us lay before him our mind, our heart, and our spirits.
Let's walk together this Holy Week. This week when God's love is poured out for the world through his Son, Jesus Christ.
There is some irony in asking what is Palm Sunday. If we were to go out like Jay Leno used to do, street walking, and ask a man or a woman on the street, what is Palm Sunday? What kind of responses would we get? We can probably imagine. Everything from palm readers to palm oil, or who knows what's going on. But the message, of course, is very near the heart of Holy Week. And as we turn the corner here and settle in, those of us who know what Palm Sunday is, would kind of naturally recoil a little bit at these lame attempts at humor. It's a little bit like that old Smokey Robinson song, "The Tears of a Clown," that make humor on Palm Sunday, this day that began with a parade, but was a strange parade. All the laughter and the festivities of a parade, but then the honored parade marshal, the featured parade entry, Jesus entering, and the people shouting Hosanna, welcoming a king, but the king is on a donkey, and not just a donkey, but the colt, a foal of a donkey. And even as all these people are shouting Hosanna and praise, the authorities, the leaders of the church are shouting at the crowds to shut up, even as the Roman soldiers are no doubt very near, watching what's going on, as used to rebellions and riots as they were in Judea. And this parade ends with Jesus making a beeline to the temple and throws out the money changers. The lines were drawn. And Holy Week begins almost as a drumbeat now, right to the cross. If you were with the church some 7 years ago, you'll recall a profound event in my family's life when my son's best friend named Caleb had passed away suddenly. Caleb was just 19 years old. He was my son's best friend forever. They had, and my son still has, the kanji tattooed on him to represent best friend forever. 6 months after they went on a clandestine secret journey to get those tattoos on the day of my son's birthday, when he figured, now that I'm 18, I can do what I want. 6 months later, Caleb had died, this all-American swimmer, this state champion swimmer who was now swimming at the university, and there was conversation about his incredible times in the 1,000 meters and freestyle as to whether he might actually qualify for the Olympic trials. This young man at the peak of life had a spell of some kind, fainted in the shower and hit his head and died. The pastor of Caleb's church, the youth pastor, at a gathering, a makeshift gathering outside the swimming pool at Riverside High School, standing there in a snowbank on a cold February day, told a story some weeks earlier when, before Caleb had gone off to college, they had a gathering. I don't know if it was a youth worship service or kind of a Sunday school worship hour that was going on while the adults were worshiping, but it was kids and high school kids together, and as is the custom in that community, they had a kind of an altar call moment. They invited people to come up for prayer if they wanted. The young people were invited to come up, and usually Caleb kind of sat in the back row and just the older high school kid putting in his time. But that day, he decided to walk forward, his pastor said. And as he approached him in the front for a prayer, the pastor said, "I could see something was on his mind. Caleb, what are you thinking?" And Caleb had told him, "I feel like God spoke to me." And the pastor said, "Well, what did God tell you?" And Caleb said, "He said, I want you to worship me." And the experience that we've been having this many weeks, we've talked about highs and lows and getting real with one another. knowing that things like Palm Sunday in the general public seem strange and distant, if they're even known at all, the sense of meaning and value is being lost for so many. We've said faith five simple faith practices to be real with your loved ones. And it begins with highs and lows. There's no greater highs and lows than Holy Week. That begins with Jesus in triumph and glory. Even as the chorus calling for his death is rising. And so it is in our journeys of our lives when we walk through our mountains and our valleys. God walks with us. And because God walks with us through Jesus, we can worship him at all times. It is Holy Week. Let's worship the Lord together.